Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going deep, and we mean that literally. This episode is dedicated entirely to one of the most storied traditions in watchmaking, the Seiko professional diver. Since 1965, when Seiko produced Japan's very first purpose-built dive watch, the brand has been relentlessly pushing the boundaries of what a tool watch can withstand, how deep it can go, and how beautifully it can do both. Today's 5 picks are not lifestyle accessories dressed in dive watch clothing. These are serious, purposeful, extraordinary instruments with histories carved out of ocean pressure, engineering ambition, and decades of devoted collector passion. If you love dive watches, today's list is everything. Let's go. Number 5. Seiko Sumo SBDC001. The Seiko Sumo SBDC001 earns its legendary nickname immediately and completely. This is a watch built like a heavyweight champion, with a presence on the wrist that is impossible to ignore. The broad, cushion-shaped stainless steel case gives the Sumo its distinctive silhouette. Wider and more substantial than a traditional round dive case, it commands the wrist with an authority that turns heads and starts conversations. Yet despite its muscular proportions, the Sumo wears with a surprising comfort. The curved lugs and well-engineered bracelet distributing its weight naturally against the wrist. Water-resistant to 200 meters, with a unidirectional bezel and generous lume application across the bold indices and hands, this is a fully capable professional dive watch in every technical sense. Powering the SBDC001 is the Caliber 835 automatic movement, an in-house Seiko caliber with a 50-hour power reserve and the kind of long-term reliability that Seiko's mechanical movements have built their reputation upon over decades of real-world service. Number 4. Seiko Prospex LX SNR025. The Seiko Prospex LX SNR025 is Seiko operating at its most ambitious and uncompromising. A watch that places professional dive credentials alongside a level of materials technology and finishing quality that represents the absolute upper tier of what Seiko produces for the open market. The LX designation signals luxury-grade execution within the Prospex Sport lineup, and the SNR025 delivers on that promise with a titanium and ceramic construction that is as technically sophisticated as it is visually compelling. The black ceramic bezel insert is virtually unscratchable, harder than steel, impervious to the fading that affects traditional aluminum inserts, and possessed of a deep, lustrous black that maintains its appearance indefinitely. The titanium case keeps the watch impressively lightweight despite its substantial 47mm presence, a critical advantage for extended daily wear or actual dive use. Inside, the spring drive caliber 5R65 is one of the most remarkable movements Seiko has ever produced. A unique hybrid of mechanical and electronic timekeeping that uses a rotating quartz glide wheel to regulate the mainspring's energy release, delivering accuracy of plus or minus 1 second per day from a purely mechanical power source. Number 3. Seiko Marinemaster 600 SBX001. The Seiko Marinemaster 600 SBX001 exists at a level beyond what most watch enthusiasts believe Seiko produces. A genuine saturation diver's tool watch rated to an extraordinary 600 meters of water resistance, built to standards that place it in direct conversation with professional diving instruments from brands costing many times the price. 600 meters. That is a depth beyond the reach of recreational diving, beyond the reach of most military diving, into the realm of commercial saturation diving operations where human beings live under pressure for weeks at a time. This watch is built for those conditions, and the engineering required to meet them is formidable. The helium escape valve at 10 o'clock allows the gases that permeate the case during saturation dives to escape safely during decompression, preventing the crystal from being blown off by internal pressure. The screw-down crown is sealed to a degree that 600 meters of water pressure demands. The case construction is massive and purposeful, wearing its engineering credentials visibly and unapologetically. Number 2. Seiko Prospex 62 MAS. The Seiko Prospex 62 MAS is a watch of profound historical significance, a faithful reissue of the very first dive watch Seiko ever produced, the reference 62 MAS of 1965, which holds the distinction of being Japan's first purpose-built professional diver. To understand what this reissue means to Seiko and to collectors, you must appreciate the weight of that history. In 1965, Japan's scientific diving community needed a Japanese-made professional instrument capable of accompanying researchers into serious depths. Seiko answered that challenge with the 62 MS, a 150-meter rated automatic diver of genuine capability, and in doing so launched a lineage of dive watches that stretches unbroken to the present day. Every Seiko diver ever made can trace its ancestry directly to that original watch. The modern 62 MAS reissue honors that heritage with extraordinary faithfulness. The same dial layout, the same case proportions, the same chapter ring and cathedral hands that made the original immediately recognizable, but built to contemporary standards of movement quality, sapphire crystal protection, and case finishing. Number 1. Seiko Tuna SBBN045. The Seiko Tuna SBBN045 takes the undisputed top position on today's list, and in doing so, it claims the title of one of the most iconic professional dive watches ever conceived by any manufacturer, anywhere, at any price. The Tuna is not just a watch, it is a legend. When Seiko introduced the original 600-meter professional diver in 1975 with its revolutionary monocoque construction and external protective shroud, it created something the watch world had never seen before and has never forgotten since. The nickname Tuna Can arrived almost immediately, as affectionate as it was accurate, and it stuck because the design was so singular, so uncompromising, and so utterly functional that it transcended mere aesthetics to become something genuinely iconic. The SBBN045 carries that legacy forward with complete conviction. The external titanium shroud that wraps around and protects the inner case is not a styling affectation. It is structural, adding an additional layer of impact and pressure resistance that makes this one of the most physically robust watches ever produced for consumer sale.